I'm in an IDF stand with John Walker. John, can you introduce yourself and tell us about who you work for?
Sure. I'm John Walker, Stewardship Forester for the Williams Lake First Nation.
And can you tell us a little bit about the stand that we're in at the moment?
We're in an IDF DK3 stand. It was probably logged in the 60s or 70s, more the high grading type that happened back then. So we have lots of different size stems coming up with snow press and lots of ladder fuels for the fire hazard.
And so we're in Interior Douglas for DK3, so dry cool 3. Is this a relatively typical subzone for this area around Williams Lake here?
Yes, this is pretty normal. We do transition into the XM, which this may actually be.
So we might be just a little bit on the drier end of the DK3.
Yeah.
And you mentioned ladder fuels and fire. Is fire currently a concern, and fire risk currently a concern in this area?
We had the mega fires in 2017, and fire was a concern before then, but that really showed how powerful it can be. So it is definitely a concern and something we're working to try to save the forests that we have and the resources.
And I assume since we're near the community of Williams Lake, I presume part of the concern is to help make the community more defensible if another fire happens. So is that part of the planning that's going on in the forests around the community?
Yeah, there's a lot of resources being put towards in the WUI, the wildland urban interface, to treat the areas about 100 meters, or I forget what the actual distance is, but close to communities. The Williams Lake First Nation mindset is more the whole forest. If the fire can't get to the community, then there's not an issue. But without a forest, we don't have a community.
And we're on Crown land at the moment, but the Williams Lake First Nation holds the license for this land at the moment. Do I have that terminology right?
We're on Crown land, but we're in the traditional territory of the Williams Lake First Nation, so which is a pretty huge area around the Williams Lake and Caribou area.
And when we first started talking, one thing that you mentioned is ladder fuel. Can you describe what ladder fuels are and what their relevance is in trying to reduce fuel in the to minimize wildfire risk?
Ladder fuel is the different layers of trees and shrubs in the forest. Douglas fir is a self-pruning stem, but you have all these smaller regen, snow press here. So the fires, generally a fire starts on the ground, it gets into these, it hits these other fuels, and then it goes right up into canopy. So you want to have a gap between the forest floor and the canopy so that it can't become a crown fire.
And settlers, I know, have dramatically influenced the fire regimes in these areas, primarily through fire suppression. So the stand that we're in right now, if this was pre-European settlement, do you think stands like this would have this structure, or might they look different?
No, it would look very different. The elders talk about being able to ride a horse and wagon from Williams Lake to Alkali, and it'd be hard. Well, you wouldn't be able to do it. So it looked very different. Kelsey Cope-Skerpsitz from UBC has done a lot of research and on the Williams Lake Community Forest, and this is very similar ground. So the fire was, I believe, was every 2 to 15 years there was fire somewhere on that forest. So the First Nations would light fires depending on how close it was to, I guess, communities or hunting grounds. Travel routes would tell how often, but there was fire here very frequently, and since colonization that has not occurred.
So with kind of more frequent fire, both natural ignition and cultural burning by the First Nations who have lived here and continue to live here, fire frequency was higher, and so there would be less fuel buildup between fires, so the fires would burn less intensely, and the forest would be in a more open state. Is that kind of what
Yeah, no, exactly. It wouldn't. A lot of these smaller stems would be killed by low intensity fire, and then a few would come. You'd have some patches, so you get a little bit more patchy distribution of trees, and just a richer plant community overall. you.